admit it. We've all butchered our precious fabric by cutting it wonky, right? I know it's not just me. But fret no more, my quilting comrades. In this video, I'm going to share with you my secret to getting perfectly cut quilting fabric so that you can say goodbye to mishaps and hello to perfect quilting bliss. Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm a human. Now let's get into it. I almost gave up on my quilting craft because I could not seem to get my quilting fabric cut correctly. I tried using a rotary cutter, which totally didn't work for me. I tried using acrylic templates. I tried using rulers. I even tried the scan and cut cutter. Yes, there are quilting patterns in the newest scan and cut cutter to cut your quilting block. So I said, let me try it. Guess what? None of them gave me the results I was looking for. So I almost abandoned my quilting craft until I discovered the Accuquilt cutting system. Oh my stars, you guys, the Accuquilt cutting system has completely changed my quilting game. It put the joy back in quilting for me. I am now able to get precise cuts. I don't have those wonky dog ears that I have to cut off every time. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So let me show you how I use it. Let me show you how I use both the Accuquilt Go Me and the Accuquilt Go Big to cut my quilting fabric to make the blocks for my bed runner project. So Accuquilt has a set of dies called the Go Cube, and they come in different sizes. And what you see here is the 9-inch block. So from this set, I'll be using die number 3, which is the half square triangle. It looks like this. In order to make this block, you also need to have the companion set. And as you can see here, I have the 9-inch mix and match companion set, but particularly the angles. So from this set, I'll be cutting shape number 15, which is like this kite shape. And look how complex this is. Can you even imagine cutting this with a rotary cutter or with scissors or a template? I can't, because it's very complicated. I'll also be using shape 14, which is called the triangles in the square, and it looks like this. And again, very complicated. Well, this is not as complicated, but still, why would you use a rotary cutter when you can just use this? So first, I'll be using my Go Big. Now, Accuquilt has 4 cutters. They have the entry level Go Me. They have the next level up, which is the Go cutter. And then they have the Go Big, which is this one. And the 4th one, rarely do you see that one. It's called the Studio cutter. Now, in my experience, in my opinion, I started off with the Go Me. And I'm going to show you the frustrations I experienced with using this Go Me. And the next option up from that was the Go Cutter. But I thought to myself, the Go Cutter has the same thing that made me frustrated about the Go Big, which is this handle. And I'm going to demonstrate to you in just a second why this is frustrating. So I thought, why would I buy a Go Big when it's probably going to be the same issue with this handle? So I saved up my money and I waited until it went on sale and I purchased the Go Big. And let me tell you, quilting friends, absolute game changer. This Go Big is worth every single penny. And this video is absolutely not zilch zero sponsored by Accuquilt. I bought everything you see here with my own pennies. And this is just my experience as a user. So here we go. I am going to show you the Go Me. It looks like this. And you just open it up like that. And yes, I am sitting it on top of my Go Big because I can. And so nothing happens without a mat. And what you see here is my used beat up mat. And the reason why there's this green painter's tape is because I do my best to rotate this cutting mat to extend the life of it. So I'll cut with this side facing up, and then the next side, I flip it and cut with this side. And again, this is just to help me extend the life of this mat. So here's how you use it. You take your die, and I'm going to fan fold my fabric on top of this die. And fan folding is just a simple procedure where you place your fabric down, and you have to make sure that your fabric is covering the light gray areas because the blades are located here. So as you can see, right, I'm not cutting my hand, but if I press really hard in this space, if I press really hard here, I might get a little cut because there's a blade right here. So you have to make sure that your fabric is covering this gray area. What I have here is a pre-cut strip of fabric, and it has also been pre-starched. And I have yards and yards of fabric that I just pre-cut because it increases my efficiency and speed in which I'm able to cut my fabrics and get to what I really love, which is sewing. So here's fan folding. You take your fabric, you place it here, and you flip it over. And you must make sure that your fabric is completely covering this gray area. So you just do that. And that's called fan folding. Now, with this particular system, you can cut up to 6 layers of quilting cotton that are not fused. So as you can see, I'm just doing 3 layers for the sake of demonstration. So without a mat, nothing happens. So the 3rd layer of your quilting sandwich is placing the mat. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't slide anything over. Placing your mat on top like that creates your sandwich. Now, here is my frustration with this Go Me. And again, I'm not knocking the Go Me. It's just my frustration, but I figured out a solution. So I'm going to show you the solution. So I'm using the Accuquilt Go Me cutter. I have my what I call die cutting sandwich. It's the die. There's 3 layers of fabric that are fan folded and a brand new cutting mat. So the reason why I point out that I have a brand new cutting mat is because I found that with the Go Me, as you can see, this cutting mat has been used a lot. And my Go Big cutter has 0 problems using this mat. However, this Go Me is extremely sensitive. Now, maybe it's just me and maybe it's my impatience, but I don't like it. So here's what you have to do. You have to push down and at the same time crank the handle and then hold it steady and roll it through and ta-da. Now you can see here that since it's new, it made an impression. You slide off the mat. You take off your excess fabric, and what you have here are perfectly cut pieces. Now, the cutter works amazingly well, so it's not a cutter issue. It's just too much labor, it's too much manual cranking for my taste, and it just frustrates me, and it reminds me of using a rotary cutter, which, by the way, I don't enjoy. Now, I'll show you the joy of using the Accuquilt Go Big cutter. I am doing the same process of placing my pre-cut, pre-starched fabric over the light gray areas, and you can see that this is a very, very complex shape. So I'm going to fan fold it again, 1 layer. And actually, you know, Accuquilt doesn't recommend this. They say that you need to cut with a lengthwise grain. But what I found is that because this fabric has been pre-starched, it's stable enough so that if I turn the fabric wonky like this and fan fold it and cut, it gives me a perfect cut. And when I go to sew, it still maintains the proper grain line and it doesn't have the bias stretch. So as you can see, I just put the fabric on top. And remember, with this system, nothing happens without a mat. So in my previous demonstration of the Go Me, remember how I had to use like essentially a new mat so that it'll work? Look how beat up this mat is. I mean, it's pretty beat up. Check out the ease of use with using the Accuquilt Go Me. You simply make your sandwich, which includes your dye, your fabric, and the mat, and then watch this. You just slide it through, just like that. You grab it, it comes out on the other side. You slide, don't lift to remove the static. And then look at this, guys. Look at this. Look how well this cut. I mean, the dog ears, as you can see, the dog ears are cut off. Let me just grab one here. The dog ears are cut off. Look how straight and sharp this is. Now, if you're gifted and you're able to get that sharp and precise with the rotary cutter, God bless you, because I can't. If you can do that with a ruler and an acrylic template, again, God bless you, because that is not a skill set I have. I am an Accuquilt Go Big fan to the end. And there you have it. In this video, I've showed you how I use the Accuquilt Go Me cutter to cut this shape. Look how good it looks. Nice, crisp, straight lines with the dog ears cut off. And I also showed you how I use the Accuquilt Go Big to cut this shape again. Nice, straight lines, crisp with the dog ears cut off. Thanks for watching. Please join me again in my next video.